Hello everyone, myself Dr. Mamta Saraf, Assistant Professor Chemistry from Dr. Khoopchand Baghel Government PG College, Bhilai 3. In this video, we are going to discuss the topic probability, permutation and combination. This topic is the part of Unit 2, Statistical Thermodynamics from Paper 3 of MSc Second Sem. Before we come to the topic, I want to give a brief idea about statistical thermodynamics. First of all, what is statistical thermodynamics? To overcome the drawback of classical thermodynamics, a new method or approach has been developed known as statistical thermodynamics. The three laws of thermodynamics are very well known. The first law of thermodynamics is an absolute law of nature, but the second law of thermodynamics has statistical nature because it is observed with a high degree of accuracy for considerable number of molecules and is less applicable the smaller are the dimensions of the system being studied. Boltzmann provided the molecular basis to chemical thermodynamics, so statistical thermodynamics deals with the application of statistical mechanics to chemical thermodynamics. Statistical thermodynamics has been applied successfully to relate the microscopic properties of the individual molecules, for example, moment of inertia, dipole moment, etc., with macroscopic properties like molar heat capacity, polarization of a system having a large number of molecules. Here we discuss the statistical methods are probability, combination and permutation. These methods are necessary for understanding of statistical mechanics and thermodynamics. The first statistical method here we discuss is probability. In common uses, the word probability is used to mean the chance that a particular event or set of events will occur expressed on a linear scale from 0 to 1. 0 is equal to impossibility and 1 is certainty. Also expressed as a percentage between 0 and 100%. The analysis of events governed by probability is called statistics. In other way, we can understand the probability as the ratio of the number of outcomes in the exhaustive set of equally likely outcomes that produce a given event to the total number of possible outcomes. To understand the probability, we can explain that suppose we present an event by A, and in this event A, the way of occurrence is presented by N, which are equally likely and mutually, and M of them are favorable. Then the mathematical probability of event A is M upon N. Alternately, if an occurrence succeeds in P ways and fails in Q ways, all the ways being exclusive and equally likely, then the probability of event succeeding is P upon P plus Q. For example, if we want to hit one color out of 5 colors, then we can hit at the particular color in one way where P is equal to 1. We may hit at any one of the other color. The equally likely cases of failure are 4. It means K is equal to 4. Hence, the probability of succeeding is given by P upon P plus Q. putting the value of P and Q in that equation will be where P is equal to 1 and Q is equal to 4. So 1 upon 1 plus 4, which is equal to 1 upon 5. So the probability of an event is given by the number of causes in which the event occurs upon total number of cases. The first example, if we toss a coin, either the head or tail will come up. We cannot predict whether in a particular toss head or tail will come, but there is a 50% chance of the tail being up. It means the probability of the desired event is 1 in 2. Similarly, if we want to draw a single card from a well shuffled deck of cards, the probability of drawing a heart is 1 in 4. Or the probability of drawing a jack is 1 in 13, and the probability of drawing queen of hearts is 1 in 52. Consider two dice, say X and Y, both having 6 faces, number 1 to 6. Total number of combination would be 6 into 6 or 36. How? It's why when first dice turn up 1, the second may turn up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Because there is no connection between the dice, thus making 6 permutation for the first dice. Likewise, there will be 6 permutation for number 2, and in all there are 36 possible permutations. If the dice are rolled, what is the probability of getting a number 8? The possible number of getting a number 8 are: when dice 1 turns up 6, then dice 2 turns up 2. When dice 1 turns up 5 and dice 2 turns up 3. Dice 1 turns up 4, dice 2 turns up 4. Dice 1 turns up 2 and dice 2 turns up into 6. And last, dice 1 turns up 3 and dice 2 turns up 5. Therefore, there are 5 ways of getting number 8 from a pair of dice. Hence, the probability of securing number 8 from a pair of dice will be 5 upon 36. There is only one way of getting number 1, when dice turns up into 6 and dice 2 also turns up into 6. Therefore, the possibility of getting number 12 will be 1 upon 36. Thus, if W is defined as the number of ways of getting an event and the total number of possible events are n, then the probability P would be given as Pw is equal to W upon n. The probability of not getting the event will be 1 minus Pw is equal to n minus W upon n. Just as with the above examples, the probability of a given distribution of molecules in the various energy states could be defined as the number of ways of realizing a particular distribution divided by the total number of possible distributions. It may, however, be noted that the probability is fractional number and its value lies between 0 and 1. After these examples of the probability, we come to the two of the most important theorems in physical chemistry are the law of addition and the law of multiplication of probabilities. These are first, law of multiplication of probabilities, which states that the probability that two independent events will occur simultaneously is equal to the product of the probability of the separate events or presented by P12 is equal to P1 into P2, where P12 is the probability that events 1 and 2 will occur simultaneously, and P1 and P2 are the probabilities of events 1 and 2. Second law, law of addition of probabilities. Law of addition of probabilities states that the probability that one of the two or more mutually exclusive events will occur in the sum of the probability of their separate occurrence P1 and P2, presented by P12 is equal to P1 plus P2. P12 and P1 and P2 are before defined. Now we will solve some numerical problem based on the probability. Starting with very simple example, that is, what is the probability that a dice will turn to 5 or an even number? To solve this problem, the law of addition of probability was applied. We know the dice has 6 sides, so the total number of events are equal to 6, and the number 5 is in only one side, so there is only one way out of 6 in which 5 can come at the top, and the chance of getting 5 is equal to 1 by 6. Similarly, there are 3 even numbers in a dice, 2, 4 and 6. So there are 3 ways, and getting an even number is equal to 3 by 6. Both these events are mutually exclusive. Since it is 5, it cannot be an even number, or vice versa. Hence, P is equal to P1 plus P2, where P1 is equal to 1 by 6 and P2 is equal to 3 by 6. So, equation will be 1 by 6 plus 3 by 6, and the answer is 2 by 3. Now we are going to solve the second numerical based on probability, which is based on the second law of probability, multiplication of probability. The problem is, in a 2-liter space there are 10 molecules. If an imaginary wall divides the space into two equal parts, what is the probability that all 10 molecules will be on the same side of the wall? Here we solve by the law of multiplication of probabilities. Here total event will be 2. because there is 2 liter space, and the probability of any molecules to be in the first liter partition is equal to 1 by 2. Same, the probability of second molecules being on the same side is also 1 by 2. The probability that two specified molecules will be on the same side of wall is equal to 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2, which will be 1 upon 4. That is the probability of two specified molecules to be on the same side of the partition is 1 upon 2 whole square. Hence, the probability that all the 10 molecules will be on the same side of the partition would be 1 upon 2 raised to the power 10, which is equal to 1 upon 1024. We can extend the idea to an assembly of large number of molecules, say Avogadro number of molecules. The Avogadro number of molecules is equal to 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23 in a space. If the space is divided into two parts, then the probability that all 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23 molecules will be on the same side of the partition will be 1 upon 2 raised to the power 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23 is equal to 1 upon 2 raised to the power 6.023 into 10 raised to the power 23, which is almost 0. So thus we can note that the spontaneous separation of all molecule is not possible. Let us solve one more problem based on probability. The problem is a bag contains 10 red balls and 5 white balls. All balls are identical except for the color. The first part asking is, if a ball is taken at random from the bag, what will be the probability that is red? To solve this, we have total 15 balls, 10 red and 5 white. So total events is equal to 15, and we have 10 red balls. So in a total of 15 balls, 10 are red, therefore the probability of drawing a red ball will be P is equal to 10 upon 15, which is equal to 2 by 3. Second part is asking, if two balls are drawing independently, what is the probability that both are red? So since both the drawings are independent and the probability of drawing one red ball is 2 by 3 as we have solved in A, therefore the combined probability of drawing two red balls would be 2 by 3 into 2 by 3, which is equal to 4 by 9. The third part is, what is the probability that on two independent drawing one ball is red and one is white? So there are two ways of drawing one red and one white ball. One way is in which first ball is white and the second ball is red. The other way would be in which first ball is red and second is white. Further, we will solve in this problem in next slide. In first case, the probability of first ball is being white will be 5 upon 15 because we have 5 white balls, which is equal to 1 by 3. the probability that second is red is equal to 10 by 15 as we solved before. Therefore, the probability that one ball is white and other red would be the combined probability P1 2 is equal to 1 by 3 into 2 by 3, which is equal to 2 by 9. In the second case, the probability of first ball being red is 10 by 15 is equal to 2 by 3, and the probability that second ball is white 5 upon 15 is equal to 1 by 3. Thus combined probability P1 2 is equal to 2 by 3 into 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 9. Since there are two ways of this kind of a draw, the total probability would be the sum of two probabilities. It means first case plus second case, 2 by 9 plus 2 by 9, which is equal to 4 by 9. So the answer of C part is 4 by 9.